I'll start and then I'll introduce you.
Thanks, Jose. Hi, Shah.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 5th night of our Beyond Access series. Tonight, we are going to be talking about getting help and support around topics around special education. We are going to be, again, as always, answering questions in the Q&A feature. If you ask a question, please put in your email or phone number so we can get back to you afterwards in case we don't have, can't get back to you tonight. Tonight with us to give us opening remarks is our division's Chief of Staff, Rebecca Daverin. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rebecca Daverin. I'm the Chief of Staff for the Division of Specialized Instruction and Student Support. Our portfolio includes the Special Education Office and District 75. I'm so honored to be a part of tonight's session for families. First and foremost, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge that many people are grieving right now. And for that reason, I ask that you join me in a brief moment of silence and solidarity. Okay, thank you for joining me in that and for holding space for that. Before we get started tonight, I would like to thank our Deputy Chief Academic Officer, Christina Foti, for her unwavering commitment to you, our families and students, as well as her leadership and vision setting around tonight's event and all of our family-facing events. She sets a high standard around the inclusion of your input and perspectives, and I think everyone you will hear from tonight strives to live up to that standard. Next, I would like to thank our Director of Family Empowerment and Communications, Jose Rios, without whom none of this would be possible. From the technology to the Eventbrites to the coordination of our amazing staff, Jose has been working tirelessly for weeks to make all of this happen. He has daily early morning phone calls to make sure we are following up on all family inquiries, and he has moderated every one of these events. Next, I want to thank the presenter you'll be hearing from tonight, the incomparable Shah Powell Scott. She is our Director of Family Support. She is relentless in her support of you, our families. If you have a question that needs an answer, she leaves no stone unturned. She will be joined at the end of tonight's session by the amazing Keisha Ali and Becky Burke, our CSC Outreach and Escalation Manager and our Manager of Special Projects for Preschool Special Education, respectively. Together, along with Shah and Jose, these superhumans are constantly doing all they can to make sure our families of students with disabilities are supported. And lastly, and most importantly, I want to thank the parents and caregivers who have logged in tonight, as well as those who will be watching this recording in the future. For those who are returning after attending a previous session, thank you for joining us again. And for the first timers, welcome. I have been lucky enough to meet and talk to many of you, and every interaction has been characterized by steadfast advocacy. You are your children's greatest advocates, at least until they become their own greatest advocates. But please know that we are also here to advocate for your children. Tonight, we are sharing information on how to get help and support, something I know many of you are already experts at, but we hope tonight's session teaches you something new. And we hope that you can share what you learn and what you already know with other families. And without further ado, I turn it back over to Jose. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for those amazing and inspiring opening words. I now have the privilege of introducing our presenter for tonight, Miss Shah Powell Scott, who I'm going to put up on camera briefly to say hello, and then we're going to jump into the conversation. Shah, how are you doing tonight?
I am wonderful. Thank you guys so much for that amazing and inspiring introduction. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to spend a Friday evening with the parents and caregivers of New York City. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm really looking forward to presenting the help and support resources that we have available to families.
All right, so let's get into it.
Once again, thank you all for joining us for tonight's webinar, which is the final series of the Beyond Access series. Our goals for tonight's webinar are to provide families with information on our remote learning resources, to prepare families to have meaningful discussions with their child's IEP teams, ensure that families are aware of those resources that are available to answer their questions about your child's special education needs and services, provide information about your due process rights, and share contact information for DOE special education teams and community resources. This is very important and vital for us, and we like to think of this as a strategic toolkit for families. We'd like you to leave this session feeling strong and empowered with the information to guide your child's educational experience. Thank you for joining us. Devices and technology. One of the most important aspects of remote learning is having a device. How do you obtain a device from the New York City Department of Education? Families that want to request a device can fill out the remote learning device request form. Some families may have already received a device from their school, and if you have not received any device, please fill out the remote learning device request form and someone will be in touch. How do you receive help with your device? You can find information on how to get started with your iPad. School staff and community members can also use this information to help students with connectivity and other troubleshooting issues. Technical tools and support. Once you have your device, you may need assistance with the Student Remote Learning Desktop, DOE student accounts, translation support, Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, and Zoom. You can find that at the Technical Tools and Support link on our website. When to submit a ticket. If you're experiencing ongoing issues with technology to support your students learning at home, even after visiting our support pages, please fill out a technical support for families form and a member of the technology team will get back to you. We'd like to take an opportunity to talk about your Learn at Home resources. On our website, you can find Messages to Families. On the Messages to Families tab, you can find the latest important updates and messages from Chancellor Carranza. Currently, you can find information about the school building closure, grading, special education messages for families, as well as other important updates. Remote learning information. We have a wealth of information on the complete remote learning experience. You can find quick answers to frequently asked questions about remote learning, including accessing remote learning and supporting my student, all about our new grading policy, special education, multilingual and English language learners, assessments and accountability, and the remote learning readiness checklist. Supplemental activities from home. We have amazing supplemental learning resources for your students, such as suggested daily study schedules, guides and materials for instructional activities, recommended educational television shows, and links to books, magazines, and websites on a wide range of topics that appeal to children of all ages. And these are in addition to your child's traditional remote learning experience that you can do with your child at home. Another fantastic Learn at Home resource we have is Let's Learn New York City. The Department of Education and WNET have partnered together on Let's Learn New York City. This is a brand new educational public television program that features lessons for children in grades 3K through 2nd grade, which can also supplement remote learning. The programs are led by DOE instructional leaders and coaches with expertise in teaching young learners. Programming offers age-appropriate curricular content that's aligned to your students' standards and lessons for early childhood education and includes foundational reading skills, literacy, math, social studies, and social emotional learning. Let's enjoy a very short clip just to get a little taste of Let's Learn New York City.
Oh, Journey, I think our friends are here. Oh,
Hi.
oh, hi friends. How are you? Oh, that's so nice of you to join us. Journey, what were you just doing?
I was meditating
Oh, why were you meditating?
because I am peace and because someone here makes me peaceful and I love really peaceful.
And who is that? Me?
No.
Oh, who were you talking about? Oh, Lammy. Lammy does make you feel peaceful and good, right? So, friends, my name is Yael. Hi, and I'm an educator in Harlem, New York, and this is my daughter.
Hi, my name is Jenny and my school is Harlem, New York, and my grade is 6th grade.
What grade are you in?
1st grade.
Oh, 1st grade, yes.
Sorry.
And that's okay. And we are here to do one of our favorite things, which is a read aloud. We love reading, right? Me and you. And we're so excited to get to do a reading with you, our friends at home. So we have chosen a book that kind of actually goes with what you were talking about, Journey, about being peaceful. And that book is
I
Am Peace. This is the cover. And the author, that's the person who wrote the book, her name is Susan Verde. And the illustrator, which is the person who drew the picture, his name is Peter H. Reynolds.
After each broadcast, each episode on Let's Learn New York City each episode and the supplemental learning materials will be made available on our website as well as 13.org. When you have an opportunity, please check it out. It will definitely be worthwhile for your 3K to 2nd graders. And I don't know about you, but a 1st grader meditating, definitely. Getting educational support. Speaking to your child's IEP team. Your child's IEP team may include their teacher, related service providers, school psychologist, and/or social worker, and you. If your child attends preschool, a charter school, a private or parochial school, or a non-public school, you can contact your Committee on Preschool Special Education or the Committee on Special Education. Some questions that you may want to consider when speaking to your child's IEP team, questions you can ask yourself. What brings out the best in my child? What are my child's strengths, challenges, and interests? What does my child like to do outside of school? What do we do at home to encourage positive behavior and learning? What areas does my child need extra help? Questions that you can ask your child's IEP team. What are my child's strengths and challenges in the classroom? How do you support my child when they need help? Do you have examples of my child's work that we can look at together? Is my child learning and developing at a rate that is expected for their age? How does my child get along with other students in the classroom? What are some questions I can ask my child when we read together? And that's just a sampling of questions for you and to ask your IEP team to have a productive conversation with your child's IEP team. Getting help from district or central staff. In the event that you run into experiences that cannot be resolved at the school level, we encourage you to reach out to your district or our central office. You can contact your family support coordinators or community or high school superintendent, DOE public school students only, or you can contact the District 75 superintendent's office if your child attends a District 75 program for additional assistance. You can also reach us at the central office. All inquiries, general, can go to specialeducation@schools.newyorkcity.gov. Once again, specialeducation@schools.nyc.gov. That's our special education inbox, and that our team manages that inbox. I've seen about 1,100 of your emails since school closures, and we pride ourselves in providing a personalized response to your inquiries and concerns. Transition to kindergarten, turning 5 at schools.nyc.gov. If you have a child who is transitioning to kindergarten, please reach out to our Turning 5 team. Related services. Inquiries related to the provision of your child's related services. Related services at schools.nyc.gov. Or you can call the special education hotline, 718-935-2007 or 311. In addition, as a last resort, we do understand that there are times when families and school teams may not come to an agreement. As a last resort, after you have tried school, district, or central options, you may seek to exercise your due process rights, which include requesting mediation. Mediation is a confidential, voluntary process that allows people to resolve disputes without a formal due process hearing. Requesting an impartial hearing. At an impartial hearing, a hearing officer listens to both sides and decides what, if anything, went wrong and how to fix it. And as a very final option, you may also file a complaint with New York State. And this is if you believe the school district has violated federal or state laws. Contacts and resources. I feel that this is one of the most important slides in the deck. Listening to your concerns via our special education inbox, one of the most important resources to have is how can I locate contact information from my child's school during remote learning? You can search for your child's school using the search box at schools.nyc.gov, our website. You can enter the name of your child's school, click the link that appears, and that will take you to your school's profile page. Or you may search for your child's school using the Find a School option. Once that school profile is located, email addresses for school teams are located in the General Information tab. District team contact information is located in the District Contact tab. You may right-click staff names for their email addresses. Additional contacts and resources. Here is a list of contacts that can help answer questions and resolve concerns about your child's special education evaluation, supports, and services. Once again, our division, the Division of Specialized Instruction and Student Support, all students who receive special education services, you can receive help there at specialeducation@schools.nyc.gov. Once again, our special education hotline, our related service team, the impartial hearing office for preschool age students. You can reach out to your Committee on Preschool Special Education, Pre-K for all and elementary school enrollment, ES enrollment at schools.nyc.gov. Pre-K for all programs, early childhood at schools.nyc.gov. Pre-K for all 504 accommodations, early childhood policy at schools.nyc.gov. Once again, students moving to kindergarten, reach out to our Turning 5 team at turning5 at schools.nyc.gov. Please remember all blue underlined text in this slides are clickable links that will take you directly where you need to go. Students in DOE district schools, K through 12, community and high school superintendents, that link will take you directly to the community and high school superintendent's contact page. Students who are in District 75 programs, you can use the Find a School tool to find contact information for your school, or the District 75 Superintendent's Office at 212-802-1500 or D75info at schools.nyc.gov. For students attending or interested in attending our specialized programs, the general inbox is specialized programs at schools.nyc.gov. If you're interested in our ACES program, which is Academic Career and Essential Skills Program, ACES programs at schools.nyc.gov. If you're interested in our ASD or NEST programs, Autism Spectrum Disorder, ASD programs at schools.nyc.gov. Or if you have questions about the Bilingual Special Education Program, the BSE, BSE programs at schools.nyc.gov. For students not attending or attending a non-public, private, parochial, or charter school, you can reach out to our Committee on Special Education. For families seeking information on transition, you can reach out to our TCACs, which are our Transition and College Access Centers. Our TCAC supports students with IEPs and their families who are transitioning from school to adult life. They offer trainings, workshops, and opportunities that provide the tools needed to plan for adult life. The transition journey looks different for every student. We'd like to prepare students with IEPs for life after high school, including but not limited to college, trade or vocational schools, employment, or day programs. You can also register for a website using these links. Excuse me, you can register for a workshop, pardon me. Travel training. Travel training enables high school age students with disabilities other than blindness to use public transportation and travel independently. You can reach out to Stephen Garcia at sgarcia12 at schools.nyc.gov for more information. Outside contacts and resources. We have a wealth of information on our contacts and resource page for other government agencies, nonprofit agencies, events and opportunities, as well as additional transition resources to adulthood. And now we'd like to take some time to review and answer your burning questions.
While Shah, thank you so much, Shah. While Shah reviews some of the Q&As from the queue, I actually would like to go to the DOE website and show you where a lot of the resources that Shah has shared with you all tonight live. And once we make these presentations available on the website and translate them so they're available in the 10 languages, you will also have access to these decks with all the links. But I wanted to start off with showing you where some of these resources live, and Shah, feel free to help me navigate through some of these. So the first step is always schools.nyc.gov. We have under the learning. Go ahead, Sash.
Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We can start with the Learn It homepage.
Sure.
In the drop-down menu for the Learn It homepage, you can find one of the first resources we discussed, which is Messages for Families, which is where you can find the important updates from Chancellor Carranza. And as you can see, we're talking about Chancellor Days, special education, grading policy. All of the newest information can be found on this page. Information on remote learning. This is where you can find our FAQs. Everything you need to know about remote learning. Accessing remote learning, special education, new grading policy, the special education remote learning plan. All of that information is located on this page.
And then, of course, my favorite page, which
Yay.
is our special education supports page.
Yes. And you can find resources designed to support your child when at home. You can find social stories, visual aids, at-home tips, which can all enhance your child's remote learning experience.
The rest of our special education information lives under the Learning tab, under Special Education. And I think one of the most important tabs to navigate, or pages to navigate here with you all tonight, is our Help section. Go ahead, Shah.
No, it's okay. In our help section, you can find much of the information we discussed tonight, in addition to talking about disability with your child, special education glossary, so you can look at some of the most frequently used words in the special education world, contact information for our committees on special education, impartial hearings, getting support, which we all went over all of those details today, and as well as your rights.
One of the things that I wanted to share with you is this page on the special committees on special education. So Shah referenced throughout the presentation the CSEs. And so we wanted to show you this page is where you can go to find information on your specific CSE. So if you're in either CPSE or CSE1, you can navigate to this page and you will see the email addresses for the chairperson, the SIPO, the supervisor of psychology, the community coordinator, and the CPSE community coordinator, as well as their fax numbers. And that's for all of them. Shah, is there anything else you think we should look at on the help section?
Not in the help section. I'd like to go back to Learn at Home.
Sure.
And let's take a look at technical tools and support, which I think is very important for our family to just get a look at. So these are all of your digital learning tools. You can enter the remote learning portal. You can find out how to access DOE student accounts, translation support, getting started in Google Classroom, getting started in Microsoft Teams, getting started with Zoom, and most important, if we could click on technical support for families at the bottom. This is where you would submit a technical support ticket. So if you are seeking status or delivery information on your iPad request, if you're reporting a lost or stolen device, you need support to sign in and use your iPad. You need help with applications, including Google Classroom. And if you've taken a look at our other pages and you're still not able to resolve your issue, you can submit a ticket here and our teams will get back to you in regards to your request.
Thank you, Shah. This is super important information now that we're in a digital age of remote learning.
Absolutely.
I also want to navigate to a couple of other places that we referenced in the presentation. One of the things that you mentioned, Shah, is the Transition and College Access Centers and how they're hosting workshops and office hours. And so for folks who are looking to find information on those, I want to draw your attention to the calendar tab at the top of the website. No matter where you go, you can find this calendar tab. So when you click on it, you'll have different options, and one of the location options that you'll have is, if you scroll down, is virtual. So if you hit that, you will see all of the things that are happening virtually, not just the Transition and College Access Centers. So you see that right now, tonight's session, Getting Help and Support, is on here, and we have today as well the Staten Island Transition and College Access Center had office hours. On Monday, it is the Bronx who hosts office hours. So when you click on those, there is a registration link and more information. So if you're looking for any of that information or any resources that are available virtually, you can just click that top calendar tab as well. And then one thing that I feel like I have to mention every time because it's so important is if you are working, if in your family or you're working with families who speak other languages and feel more comfortable in their other language, the website can be translated using this Google Translate a language selection tool. So it has more than just the 9 languages that we usually translate everything into. I think that is all of the web resources that I wanted to go through. Shah, is there anything else that you wanted to point to on here?
Sure, we can click on Learn at Home once more. And let's go to iPad distribution. On the iPad distribution page, this is where families who have not yet received a device can still request a device using our remote learning device request form, as well as find information about getting started with your iPad, learn more about responsibilities in having the iPad, and delivery timing, as well as iPad care and safety. Very important for families who have received devices.
So families who haven't received devices or haven't requested devices can still request devices, Shah?
They are able to still request devices. They should fill out the remote learning device request, and someone will get back to them about their request once they've signed the student device loan form.
Great. Any other sites you want to hit before we? Oh, there is one more that I wanted to hit, and I'm sorry that I forgot about it. The other thing that you mentioned, Shah, in your presentation was the Find a School tool. And so just like in the calendar, as well in the top bar, we have the Find a School link. And so here's what the Find a School tool looks like.
And you can actually type your school's name in that search bar. And once you start typing, sometimes it will auto-populate the name of that school, and you can find your school and click on it. Once you've located your school, you click search, and you can click full school profile, which will take you to your school's profile page. This is your school's profile page. You can take a look. It tells you your school number, the geographic district, the borough, and if we scroll down a little more and you click on general information, you can see your school's team, your school's principal or school leader, and if you right-click on staff names, you can copy their email address and reach out to them, or you can actually click the name and your computer can take you to your email distributor, which will actually send the email to that staff member. If you go down a little further, you'll see district contacts. And the same here, you can find your superintendent and your family support coordinator's contact information, phone numbers, as well as if you right click, you can obtain their email address.
So this is a great tool to use. And if you're not looking for a specific tool, one of the other things that you can do is you can search by grade. So if you're looking for a pre-K center or a school that offers kindergarten, you can do that all here. You can also search by borough. So if you wanted to choose, you can just select the borough. If I wanted to find all schools that offered kindergarten in the Bronx, I could set those two things, hit search, and it gives me all of the locations that offer kindergarten in the Bronx. I can zoom in, I can drag, just like a Google map. And then I could also see if they're a DOE school or if they're a charter school. There are filters that you can go to, again, by grade or by school type. All right. I think with that, we can go into some of the Q&As.
Sure. I'd like to start with a particular question. Is the DOE collecting data of best practices and what is not successful from present remote instruction to prepare properly for possible remote instruction in the fall or partial remote instruction from all stakeholders, parents, students, teachers, and school admin who would know best what is and what is not working to best identify issues? And that's a very, very important question. Thank you so much for asking that question. We are collecting data. All of our teams are constantly collecting data. We have some families have received a remote learning survey. I manage the special education inbox. We're collecting data there. So I have a frontline view of the questions that are coming in, and we use that data to identify trends. What are the most frequent questions coming in? What are families seeking support in? So we use that data. We're meeting regularly and having opportunities to talk about what works best for families.
Great.
And I will go to another question. Are there plans to address executive function skills for students with disabilities during remote learning? Navigating multiple conflicting schedules, checking and responding to emails to find information, using Google Classroom to find information, time management, switching between multiple platforms for different subjects. So I'd answer this question twofold. The first being that in our supplemental learning resources, which we discussed a little during the presentation, there are strategies for working with your child at home, which may address executive functioning, such as schedules, using Google Classroom to find information. The second part to the question is, if you have concerns about executive functioning for your student with disabilities, please speak with your child's IEP team, your teachers, related service providers, and if you have additional questions that can't be resolved at the school level, please reach out to us at special education at schools.nyc.gov, and we'll assist with resolving your concerns.
Great. I think we have an opportunity to bring in some of our colleagues who manage some of the other inboxes.
Awesome.
And Becky, are you still on the line?
Hi, Jose. Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Becky. Folks, Becky manages our Turning 5 inbox and is the manager of special projects for the preschool team. And I noticed in the chat there is a question around asking about play therapy and learning through play. I was wondering if you could touch a little bit on that and your answer on that.
Yeah, I was explaining to this parent that preschool age children learn and develop through play. So you will be seeing a play-based approach with both instruction from teachers and related service providers to OT, PT, and speech. You can absolutely speak to your CPSC administrator about different types of therapy and therapy approaches when you do have your upcoming meeting, and all recommended services on the IEP will be provided remotely while schools are closed.
Thank you, Becky, so much. I think that's also a great opportunity for me to plug next week. Where the Pre-K team is going to be joining us next week for the Beyond Access series to talk about learning through play at home. So if you want to know more about play therapy or learning through play, please stay tuned for next week for that opportunity. Also with us tonight is Keisha Ali. Keisha, how you doing?
I am fine. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Keisha. Keisha, can you talk to us a little bit more about how families who are served through the CSEs can contact help? Is it always first and foremost your CPSE, or is there a general inbox that families can reach out to?
Oh, the first avenue is to reach out to your IEP team, the specific CSE, either the leadership and or the team together in regards to your concerns, your questions, advice. Also, if you do not get a response from them, please reach out to the special education at schools.nyc.gov inbox, and Shah and I will direct your questions to the appropriate PSE or CSE for your students, for your child, I should say, sorry.
Thank you so much,
You're
Keisha.
welcome so much. Take care.
I also just want to acknowledge a question that is getting asked around the governor's new executive order. And so I just wanted to say, let everyone know that we've read the governor's new executive order, and our team is working and unpacking the order, and we'll be providing guidance to families as soon as we can. So we're working on it, folks. Shah, are there any other questions in the queue that you see are big topic questions for folks?
I'll address one, and many families have asked this question. Where can they get the slide deck? The slide deck will be available on our website within the next few weeks for families to access.
That's a great point. Thank you, Shah. I know a lot of folks have been asking throughout the week, where can I find the information? Where can I find the PowerPoints and the recording of this? So we are going to be putting this up on the DOE website. We're also going to be sending an email out to all of you who registered with links to that information once it's live. It is going to take us a little bit of time, so hang in there with us and be patient with us, because we want to make sure that this information is available to as many people as possible. So we're going to send this all out to get translated so that it is available in the 10 languages and actionable for all of our families. All right. And I'm looking through the chat and I'm trying to see if there are any other major topics. Are there any common questions that you're getting in the inbox, Shah, that you want to share?
Sure. One very important one, I think I'll speak on this one. How can I request an evaluation? The specific question was, what about requesting evaluations for pre-K for related services? To request an evaluation for special education evaluation for a preschool student, you can email your CPSC, and we've provided those links to the committees on special education. You can also email us at specialeducation@schools.nyc.gov or call 311. To request an evaluation for a K-12 student, you can reach out to us at specialeducation@schools.nyc.gov. You can email your principal or call 311.
Great. And for those of you who didn't join us yesterday, we had the folks from the Office of the Supervisors of School Psychologists join us, who talked in depth about the IEP process and how to create an initial referral. And that presentation will also be available on the DOE website. So I want to just take a moment and thank you, Shah, for all the information that you've shared with us. Thank you, Becky and Keisha, for joining. I want to open up to some final thoughts for you all to share. Shah, final words, thoughts?
Thank you, Jose. Thank you all so much for supporting tonight. Thank you, parents and caregivers, for taking the time to spend with us and learn about getting help and support. I hope that you feel strong. I hope that you feel empowered with all of the information that you need to support your child. Our tools, we hope that our toolkit can be a one-stop shop, specifically with your child's success in mind. And in the event that you don't have all the tools that you need, we hope that you'll take the time to reach out to us. Once again, specialeducation@schools.nyc.gov, so that we can help resolve your issues. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful to spend my evening with you all, and I look forward to seeing your questions in our inbox. Thank you. Everyone stay safe and well.
Thank you, Shah. All right, folks. So week 1 of the Beyond Access series is come to an end. Thank you all for all of you who joined us the whole week, from the remote learning plan to instruction to related services to the IEP meeting and evaluations, to getting help and support. You all made this an amazing and successful launch for the Beyond Access series. So week 1 is done, but we're not over at all. Like we mentioned with you yesterday, next week we're going to be talking about play and learning through play at home with our pre-K team. So if you're interested in that, please register and join us next Wednesday at 7:30 through 8:30. We will have future sessions around literacy and other sessions coming up, but I just want to share with you all that there is a lot being planned, and this isn't the last of the series. So with that, I want to share with you all and just be thankful to every one of my colleagues who've joined us throughout this week. We just really appreciative of them taking time to share with you all the information. And I want to say that like this could not have happened without their work, their partnership, and their collaboration. But I also want to thank a lot of the parent leaders and advocates that I have the privilege of working with, who helped inform how we came across and creating this series and the topics that we selected. These really were. This really was a collaborative work with parent advocates and leaders to share what parents are asking, what parents need, and that work is going to continue. That work is going to keep moving forward, and we're going to continue finding those topics that you all need and information on and bring them here. And I want to close out this week and our week of learning with a poem that means a lot to me and has meant a lot to me as a developing adult and has brought me into, and is one of the things that I put into my philosophy of everything, and one of the reasons why I believe so much in the work that we do, and I think is especially relevant in the climate that we're in today. And so this is a poem that is out of a timeless Mayan precept by Luis Valdés, and it's called In la Quech. In la Quech, tú eres mi otro yo, you are my other me. Si te hago daño a ti, if I do harm to you, me hago daño a mí mismo, I do harm to myself. Si te amo y respeto, if I love and respect you, me amo y respeto yo, I love and respect myself. Thank you everyone for joining. Stay safe, be well, have a great weekend.